Hi, I'm Wendy Terrien. I am the author of the Jason Lex Young Adult Urban Fantasy series and the fourth book, but third chronicle in my series, The Forge of Bonds, is a finalist in the 2021 Colorado Authors League Awards, which I am so honored to be included in, and it's so exciting. I mentioned that it's the fourth physical book, but it's the third chronicle, and the reason for that is that there are two book twos in my series. So there's a book two for Jason, one of my main characters, and another book two for Sadie, another character who's very important in the book. So they each have their own story, their own book two, totally different locations, totally different stories, but on the same timeline. And then they come back together at the end of their two book twos, and Chronicle 3, The Forge of Bonds, physical book 4, is the next chapter in their adventure. So I'm going to read to you a short excerpt from the book. There are skyfish in this scene. Skyfish are cryptids. Cryptids are creatures that may or may not exist, like Bigfoot, Loch Ness. Those are some we know about. Skyfish are another one that people do believe exist. They fly around us all the time. They can fly through us. We don't know it. But you can actually go on the internet and Google skyfish. You can find references to them. You can find people who believe them. You can find videos that people believe are skyfish. And there are just one of many hundreds of cryptids in the world that people believe are real. And a lot of these creatures are throughout my books. So in this scene, Jason is with his dog, Shay, and she is very attuned to sensing cryptids, especially the dangerous ones. And they are going to see some skyfish, and then something else happens too. Jason pulled on his coat, clipped a leash onto Shay's harness, and they headed out into the dwindling light of the wintry afternoon. 3 times skyfish zipped close, and Jason dodged each one. Shay paid no attention to them. Sadie's right. I need to ignore them or they will drive me crazy. He paused, refocused on his route, and asked Shay to heel. They took the shorter path to Uncle Alexander's house, traveling along the canal past thickets of chokecherry bushes and scrub oak, near the hidden cove where Jason and Sadie had first met and where Jason had first encountered skyfish. As if triggered by the memory, a tingle crawled around the base of his skull. He scanned the sky but noticed nothing. Shay froze and growled, her gaze fixed on a thick clutch of bramble on the other side of the canal. Twigs snapped. A shadow shifted. "Who's in there?" Jason asked. He flexed his fist. Bolts of electricity zipped inside him. Nothing moved. Shay pulled to get closer to the bushes. Jason held firm. Steam pumped from Shay's nostrils as she sniffed and cleared her sinuses, scenting what seemed to be hidden in the waning light of day. He tightened his grip on her leash. "Hey!" Jason yelled, trying to trigger a reveal. Still, nothing moved. Shay sat but remained trained on the spot. He waited another moment, his senses still triggering, but saw nothing and presumed more skyfish had caused the alarm. He called to Shay to continue along the path. Seconds later, something crashed through the brush on the far bank behind them. Jason's powers flared, his arms blew, and he pivoted, Shay yanking him toward the sound. A brown figure, seemingly on all fours, barreled into the canal and cannonballed water in its wake. It scrambled up the bank and stopped about 40 feet away, facing Jason and Shay, fixated for a moment while water dripped from its fur. Sparks flashed from Jason's raised arm. The creature stepped closer. His powers flared. "Don't do it. Don't make me do it." Shay yipped and strained on her lead. The creature sniffed the air once, twice, water gurgling in its nostrils, then turned and scrambled away. Shay tugged to take chase. Jason countered her momentum with his and lowered his arm. If that was a dog, it was the biggest, shaggiest dog I've ever seen. Before using his power, he had to be sure a cryptid, was dangerous. He couldn't let himself hurt something or someone when they didn't deserve it, when they didn't mean it. Farther down the path, the figure faded from sight. Jason's arms still glowed a fiery blue. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. It's just one of the many exciting moments in the books. If you're interested in more, you can find out more about me, about my books, on my website, wendyterrien.com. You can find me on social media at wendyterrien.com. Pretty much all of them are at Wendy Terrien. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for to the Colorado Authors League and all the judges who selected The Forge of Bonds as a finalist this year. And we'll have everyone just have a really wonderful day. Thank you.